and welcome back to the review realm. It's Sienna, and today we are going to be doing a review on Pulp Fiction because according to this poster, it is one of the best 100 movies of all time, and every Tuesday I'm reviewing one of the movies that is on this poster, and today it just happens to be Pulp Fiction. Now, this review will not contain any spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet, there's no need to worry, but before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So Pulp Fiction was released in 1994, and it's directed and written by Quentin Tarantino. Now, this is my first time seeing Pulp Fiction, but I have seen other Quentin Tarantino films, and it's definitely a Quentin Tarantino film, that is for sure. I mean, I wasn't really shocked by that by watching it, just because seeing his other films, it sort of does follow the same pattern. Now, it is a story that is out of chronological order, so the times you're jumping in and out of different places throughout this whole film, and it is also circular, so where you start the film is also where you end the film. Now, it can create some confusion, but they do break it up in like chapters, like The Golden Watch, I think, was one of them, and other things like that. So they title the different segments of this movie. And now, it having been out of chronological order, yes, it also does create some confusion with the audience, but I also think it does add a lot as well. You really need to pay attention to this film. It's not a film that you can like do cleaning or doing other stuff, especially your first time viewing it. Now, after rewatches, you probably could, but first time, you definitely have to pay attention to what is going on in this story. Now, it does star Quentin Tarantino, Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, and the list goes on and on. Like, this cast is stacked. Like, I was watching it with my dad, and I was like, this person's in it, and this person's in it. It was crazy. So there's a lot of recognizable people if you have especially seen any other Quentin Tarantino film, or if you just watch movies, because a lot of these people are well-known actors. Now, this movie did revive John Travolta's career. I know John Travolta from Grease, like, that was the movie as a kid, so it was cool to see him in a completely different role. Now, Samuel L. Jackson, he's been in, like, literally everything. Like, he's just an actor where you're like, gosh, isn't he, like, in everything? But seeing him in this role and him saying the Bible verse, he is just so good. Like, as an actor, you're like, I would believe Samuel L. Jackson could probably play, like, a thug. Like, he probably is one in real life. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he has actually killed people. He just plays it so well. And with this Bible verse, he says it throughout the film in different ways, which I think is really compelling. You know, some actors, they just deliver the lines the exact same way. It's very monotone. It's like, I'm just reading these words. But him, with that Bible verse, he performs it in different ways throughout the film, which add to this story. You're like, and you can see his character just shift as this film is progressing, because he does have like an enlightened moment, and him delivering that Bible verse different ways really helps believe that. So I thought he just did a great job. And John Travolta, he did a really good job too. Honestly, the whole cast did phenomenal, and I really did enjoy the parts where we had John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson together. I could literally watch a film about like them just sitting in a car for like 3 hours. Now, this film is over 2 hours, and during the middle part, I think mainly where I felt this time and where I was like, oh my gosh, this movie is taking forever, was definitely Bruce Willis's part. Now, I'm not saying it was bad, okay? I enjoyed it, but his parts in this film, I just like, I didn't really care that much, but there was some interesting parts, I'm just gonna say, in this film. I wouldn't recommend it watching it with a parent like I did. Like, oh, there's this one scene, but anyway, his part is like in the middle of the film. It's definitely interesting, and I just felt like it dragged on a part like a long time in there. I think some scenes could have been cut shorter, like his girlfriend, she wants to like get pregnant, but it feels like it goes on for like 20 minutes, like her just saying that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, can someone knock her out, please? Like, I'm about to like run through my TV. So there's definitely parts where I felt like it dragged, but anytime like Quentin Tarantino, like he is in this film, he actually does act in it. That was a good scene with him. and also like Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta. Like, they really carried this film and had great humor moments. Now, there is humor in this film, which I was laughing. This film has really good comedy moments where you can just like burst out laughing and you're like, what is going on? I enjoyed this film. I would definitely recommend it if you are into films, just because this does do a little different. It's out of chronological order. It's circular, so where you start is where you end, which is really interesting. And like, the only other thing I can remember that does that off the top of my head is The Outsiders, but I read the book and I've briefly seen the movie of that, but in the book it's the same thing. So I do think that was interesting out of chronological order, which can create some confusion. So it's definitely a different film, and it's definitely not for everyone. It's very much a Quentin Tarantino movie, and I think that's how this film should be described. But I enjoyed the parts where Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta were in the most. That's where I was really engaged with this film. And otherwise than that, I was like, okay. But I did enjoy this film. I would definitely recommend it to others. So that's my thoughts, but let me know if you really love Pulp Fiction or if you've never even seen it before. But have a great day. Bye!